Hola and welcome. My name is Daniela Perez, and I'm WIA's North America and Pacific Programs Director. Since 2006, WIA has been providing leadership, strategy, and technical training for women leaders to scale their climate and environmental initiatives while connecting them to a global alliance of peers, mentors, and funders. It's so wonderful to be here with you today, creating space for the 2023 US Regenerative Agriculture and Health Accelerator leaders to share how they're working to address systemic disparities in healthcare by integrating their cultural traditions, supporting reproductive justice, and helping communities heal from environmental violence. Before diving in, I first want to recognize that while we are gathering virtually today, and while WIA has a global team located around the world, our home office is based in what is currently known as Berkeley, California, in the Bay Area, but what is also known as Huichin, the ancestral and unceded land of the Ohlone people. And I want to thank our Ohlone relatives for allowing us to call that place home. We recognize that we are on stolen land, and we as an organization and as community members have a responsibility to do all that we can to be good guests of the lands and their original stewards. And while land acknowledgements are an important first step, they must always be followed up with action. And we take action by naming the ongoing and normalized colonization of indigenous lands, by speaking the original name of this land, by collaborating with local Ohlone leaders like Corina Gould, the spokesperson for the Confederate villages of the Lisjan Ohlone, who was also a designer and facilitator in the US Grassroots Accelerator program. And we also support land rematriation through our Shumi land tax, which supports our colleagues at Segurate Land Trust as they do the important work of rematriating their lands. We do this because we collectively, as an alliance, envision a future that is thriving, sustainable, and just. To get started, let's get a sense of who else is here. In the chat, please feel free to write your name, title, where you're joining us from, the land where you're standing. And as today's session continues, please feel free to continue sharing in the chat any resources or ways that you take action to ensure land is rematriated. And with that, I would like to invite US Regenerative Agriculture and Health Accelerator leader, Abby, to lead us through a short grounding. During the program, this is how we start each call. So it's very special for us to invite you into this space and experience what we've all been experiencing for these last months, gathering almost weekly to allow our bodies to get grounded and present and share space for each other to continue our growth and empowerment. So Abby, please take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Abby, and today I'm going to guide you through a short grounding with the elements. So feel free to get comfortable, find a nice seat, or sometimes during Donnie's, I would even lay down. So make yourself as comfortable as you can. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or just close your gaze a bit. And notice your lower extremities, maybe your feet or your hips, grounded either on your chair or on the earth, on the floor. And begin taking a few deep breaths. First, we'll connect with our earth element. So you can bring your attention to your feet or your hips, the ground beneath you. And you can imagine sending a grounding cord down to the earth, bringing with your inhale fresh energy up from the earth. Exhaling, sending your love back to the earth and anything else that you are ready to release from the day, from your body. It's creating this channel between you and the loving, beautiful earth beneath us. Now we'll connect to the waters. You can imagine drawing up fresh, clean water from the earth, circulating that water and energy through your body, the source of life. Blessing that water as it passes through you and sending it back to the earth that connects us to everyone. Now we'll connect to fire. If you want, you can rub your hands together, generating a little bit of warmth. And then bringing that warmth over somewhere in your body that could use some love and tenderness, maybe over your heart or over your belly, your eyes or your shoulders. Feeling that warmth radiate through your body, the fire of passion and creativity and energy. Now we'll connect to the air element, feeling the fresh breath traveling through our nostrils, maybe out through the mouth with a sigh. Taking a few more of those fresh breaths, releasing anything that isn't serving you. And lastly, connecting with ether, feeling all of our ancestors and spirit guides and any beings that we love who are here to support us. The connection between all of us, the unknown. And if you want, you can bring your hands to your body, just giving yourself a little squeeze, integrating all those elements into your being. Maybe saying a bit of gratitude for each of those elements and what they offer in your life. And whenever you're ready, you can start to blink your eyes open again, bringing yourself back to the space where you are. Taking a last deep breath. Thank you all.
Thank you, Abby, for that wonderful grounding. I personally feel way more present and ready to listen and ready to receive some of the wisdom that will be shared today. I would love to share a little more context for the reason of this call. As we move forward, this year's program is following the backbone of the US Grassroots Accelerator program, a program that launched in 2019 in partnership with the Sierra Club, with the intention to support women leaders all across the US territories. We recognize that, like our counterparts in the global majority, women in the US leading environmental action were underserved in every way. As such, WEA's key strategy is to provide training, resources, and the collective action and collaboration of a powerful alliance to address barriers that prevent grassroots women leaders from scaling their urgently needed environmental and climate solutions. With that said, we're excited to share a quick video that gives you a closer look at our accelerator model in action. So I'd like to ask our tech specialist, Teresa, to share that video with you all now.
we are what make up the global community. It is grassroots. That is where it's always started. That's where it's always begun. So in supporting this, we support the world that we want to create.
Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful video, Teresa. I personally really love seeing, the way that we are all lit up by this powerful alliance and what it really means for women to gather in this way. As you all know, one of WIA's core beliefs is that when women gather, the earth changes. And this year, as a result of doing some deep listening to our alliance and what is alive for many communities, our North America and Pacific team recognized that the need to take this robust and intersectional US Grassroots Accelerator program and really focus it into serve a specific need. So this year we were fortunate enough to really innovate and draw a circle around regenerative agriculture and health here in the US and US territories. So as part of this program, our solution series are designed as a space for accelerator leaders to share and celebrate their initiatives, campaigns, and sustainable enterprises. They've been growing and deepening throughout this program, and their leadership has shown up as a result of challenges they're experiencing in their communities. And throughout the program, leaders have been able to create detailed action plans for their visionary community goals. So we are very honored to create the space for these innovative leaders to share with us how their communities are experiencing environmental violence and the solutions they are putting forth to heal and create pathways towards liberation and justice. During today's solution series, we're going to be talking about healing with the land for women's health equity. During the program, we hosted a module on WIA's Violence on the Land, Violence on Our Bodies report and toolkit, where our leaders had the opportunity to reflect on the environmental violence they are facing and how that intersects with gender-based violence and other forms of health disparities and injustice in their communities. In the report, there is a beautiful quote that sums up the power and the pain of this intersection. And it says, this is a quote from Gudgy Cook that says, "Women are the first environment." It's simple and to the point. Women and the land are interconnected in our experiences of violence, but also in our experiences of respect and love for our communities. We are the first environment, and Gudgy's words are living through the speakers leading this call today. These are the answers to healing from environmental violence. So I want to welcome Kia Leek, WIA's North America and Pacific Program Manager, to moderate the flow between our presenters today. Kia, please take it away. I can't wait to hear from all of you.
Hi, everyone. It is so good to see your faces. Thank you for joining us. And I am also really excited to hear from our leaders here who I've had the pleasure to get to know the past few months. So thank you for being here. And to kick us off, I will pass it to our first leader, who we've just heard from for our grounding, Abby.
Thank you, Kia. Hi again, everyone. My name is Abigail Cmiel, and I live on Coast Miwok and Southern Pomo land, known as Sebastopol, California. And I am one of the 4 co-founders of the Integra Collective that I co-lead with Dewey Raybon, Bailey McNeil, and Cameron Conklin. And the 4 of us are women or non-binary folks, and we're healers, earth tenders, community organizers, facilitators, and teachers. Our organization, Integra Collective, is an intergenerational network of social and ecological change makers, and we host educational events and workshops in order to regenerate the human-earth relationship. So that's a lot of words, and I'll break it down a little bit. So many people ask us, where did the name Integra come from? And for us, it means integrity, integration, interconnectedness, and so much more. We started Integra while living at various intentional communities in North Carolina, England, California, and Costa Rica. And during these apprenticeships, the four of us were able to learn so many new skills like permaculture and herbalism, farm-to-table cooking, agroforestry, and so much more. And yeah, through these experiences, I felt I was able to live in really deep integrity with the earth and my body and community. And I was able to live in an integrated lifestyle where I was growing food to feed myself and those around me. And I was building structures for us to live in and creating herbal products to heal myself and others. So after having the gift of living in community for about 3 years, I started feeling a lot of fear about getting swept back into what we call the void, or all the systems of oppression that contribute to injustice around the world, like the poor quality of food produced by industrial agriculture, the epidemic of chronic illness, polluted waters, and disconnected communities. And a big part of me wanted to keep hiding out in the jungle and avoid many of the deep challenges that our society faces. But I also knew that I needed to bring my experience of interconnectedness to the world beyond. So through many long conversations with Cam, Bailey, and Dewey, my co-founders, we decided to create an organization that would help us integrate all of the healing modalities that we learned and share them with the broader community. So in 2021, the Integra Collective was born. So that first year, we hosted multiple educational workshops and gatherings, including our first Integra Fest, which is also our WIA project. And during that first gathering, we hosted 75 people and convinced all of our friends to come teach workshops on Ayurveda, natural dyeing with plants, acro yoga, and many other modalities that help people connect to their bodies and to the earth. And we had live music. We had local chefs come and cook food from our friends' farms. And it was just a really fun day. We were like, wow, this is great. We're on to something. So then the second year, this past summer, we grew our event and hosted our second Integra Fest with 150 attendees and even more amazing offerings. I'll share some pictures at the end so you all can get a little taste of the experience. And our plan is to host our third Integra Fest this upcoming summer, July 20th. So mark your calendars in Sebastopol, California. And our goal is to have 300 attendees, very much inspired by this WIA program, encouraging us to share what we're learning and growing. So our mission is to uplift teachers, chefs, musicians, vendors who otherwise have a limited platform. So many women, queer folks, BIPOC folks of all ages, and ripple their embodied knowledge of the earth, body, and community out into the world beyond. So hopefully some of these amazing WIA leaders will come out and teach as well. We want to show people that it's possible to create change that we want in the world while also having a ton of fun. And because what's the point if the revolution isn't pleasurable as well? So we hope that you're going to join us for Integra Fest 2024 or one of our other gatherings. For anyone who is in North Carolina, we're actually on the East Coast. We're going to have a week-long course in the spring and April. So you can also find those details on our website. And the intention of that course is to learn about healing the body and the earth through the elements. So a little bit of a taste of my meditation earlier. And you can see everything that we have coming up on our website, integracollective.org, or our Instagram, Integra Collective. So thank you all so much for being part of the WIA web now. And now you're all officially part of the Integra Collective as well. And as we say at Integra, to Integra and beyond.
Thank you so much, Abby. I'm so excited for Integra Fest. You're like right around the corner. So thank you for sharing how you're connecting people to each other and then to the land. Because the land is living and we're all in relationship with each other. So thank you. Next, I will be passing it on to Brooke Bridges.
Thank you so much, everybody. So, hi, my name is Brooke Bridges, and I am the founder of Brooke's Botanicals. And Brooke's Botanicals is a for-profit community organization that focuses on making all natural skin, hair, and self-care products from truly all natural ingredients. So many of the herbs and the flowers and the plants that I use in my products, I grow myself or forage myself on the land here where I live. And next year, I'm going to start expanding to offer both farming and herbal medicine educational workshops to teach people how to grow, identify, sustainably harvest or forage, process, curate, and create their own self-care products for both internal and external uses. So I started this back in 2020 when I was getting ready to try for my first child, who was born in 2021. And I found out that I was estrogen dominant. And a lot of people don't know that many of the chemicals that exist in our self-care products and in many other things, especially plastics, they actually mimic estrogen in our body. So our body does not know how to figure out what the synthetic chemical is. And the molecules are similar enough to estrogen that our body just reads it as estrogen. And so obviously, if we're having more estrogen than our body is actually making itself, that can cause a lot of issues. As we all know, our body is our skin is our body's biggest organ. And what we put onto our bodies enters into our bloodstream and interacts with our cells and our DNA and our blood and all these other things and can interrupt our overall health. So cosmetics, skincare, hair care, self-care products, they are notoriously full of endocrine disrupting, cancer causing, and health impacting chemicals. So by handcrafting, everyday essentials, things that we use every day, skin oils, body butter, lotion, hair conditioner, by handcrafting that from all natural, homegrown, and locally sourced ingredients, we can ensure that what our communities are putting onto their bodies are good for us. And all of these chemicals also enter the waterways, and unsustainable farming practices contribute to the overall destruction of our planet as well. So by farming small scale and working with small scale growers, we can ensure our environmental impact is also a positive one and not extractive. So for some, statistics, more than half of the cosmetics in the United States and Canada contain levels of toxic industrial compounds that are linked to serious health conditions like cancer and reduced birth weight, according to some studies. Since 2009, 595 cosmetic manufacturers have reported using 88 chemicals in more than 73,000 products. So think about all the products you see on the shelves when you go to the store and you're looking for conditioner, or you're looking for blush, or you're looking for, all these things that we use fairly regularly. They have all been linked, or these particular chemicals have been linked to cancer, birth defects, and or reproductive harm. There's a recent study that I looked up too, thinking about, Black women and other women of color. And this particular study analyzed the ingredient labels of a really wide range of personal care products that was specifically marketed to Black women and other POC women. And it found that over half of those products contained ingredients linked to cancer, reproductive health, or developmental harm and endocrine disruption. The majority of those products contain fragrance ingredients that were not disclosed on product labels at all. And after lab analysis identified the chemicals and others, they were of concern to consumer health. So a lot of these companies don't even have to disclose what's in the products, and then they're marketing them directly to us. As we know, our POC communities have been notoriously disadvantaged in terms of things like life-giving food and fresh produce. Just the locations where many predominantly Black communities are also bad for our health. And we've been excluded from healthcare and personal care of the elite, due to lack of resources and accessibility. And now there are many natural products on the market, but the ones I have seen are exorbitantly expensive and unattainable for most of us. And, for many women, especially Black women, we struggle with things like PCOS, infertility, hormone imbalances, and the like. And this is not a coincidence, from the food that we eat to the products that we're marketed to and then put on our skin. These all have impacts on our overall health and well-being. And I believe that we just deserve better than that. As women and as people who have wombs, our hormonal health can truly impact the entirety of our being and our lives, our abilities to function and thrive as mothers, to tap into our creative energy and our vital force and power and our true state of intuition and knowing. this requires a balance of our hormones. And so I, thinking about Brooks Botanicals, wanted to shift my own hormonal imbalances, and then thought of all the women out there who could also benefit from these products. So through my work, and through being a part of this accelerator, I aim to launch a couple different projects in hopes that we can create products that are more accessible. So price also matters. So I aim to launch a product sharing program where purchasing customers are able to contribute to a pool of products that will go out to community members in need. So for example, for every $5 you spend, $1 will go toward this pool. And then this pool will then contain products, care packages that will go, and they'll be dropped off for women and children in domestic violence shelters and homeless shelters, and women who are pregnant or newly postpartum, and just those who are simply in need and say, hey, I'm trying to change my way of life and I can't afford to do this whole switch. And so can I be a part of that pool? So like people who just want to change for their healing. I'm also going to launch a sliding scale herbal CSA. So neighbors will be able to subsidize other community members' shares by paying more. And this is a structure that was popularized in agriculture by Soulfire Farm and our Solidarity Share CSA. And I actually manage that. I work at Soulfire Farm as well. And this is so that everybody can benefit from the life-giving food and medicine of the land without having to, come out of their pocket with money that they don't have. I also aim to utilize regenerative farming practices to grow our own ingredients, foraging wild medicinal plants versus, just shopping for the trendy plant medicines that come from very far away, whose farming practices are unknown. We don't know a lot of those, very popularized herbal remedies often come from very extractive means of harvesting, and the communities from which they come from tend to be, depleted because they get so viral and so popular. And so, another way that we hope through, this program to kind of offset that is to also work with cooperatives like shea butter cooperatives in West Africa, for example, to ensure that the bulk ingredients that I cannot grow myself are actually, properly compensating the communities from which they come from. So the dream is that through the products our people deserve, intentional collaborations, knowledge and education around plant medicine and regenerative agriculture, we can equip our communities and our women with what they need to flourish internally and thus create vital and thriving lives. Through this accelerator, I plan on accelerating the blend between a for-profit business and social and environmental justice. Small businesses are really good for local economies, and small businesses should also aim to contribute positively to the communities in which they reside. So please consider donating to my GoFundMe and just checking out my website, www.brooksbotanicals.co. I'm currently raising funds so that I can have an HQ. I live in a really small space, and I really want to expand so that I can prepare for the upcoming growing season and start to host educational workshops in 2024. And so that I can also kickstart that product share program in collaboration with the Unity House in Troy, New York, which is a women's shelter. They're going to be my first collaboration for that product share. And then I also need to do much needed land prep and build a shed to house the business itself so I can be close to the land from which I'm working and harvesting, the goods for. So thank you to all the other WIA members. I have learned a lot in this time, and I'm just really looking forward to how we can, continue weaving ourselves together to take our initiatives even farther than we can do on our own. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for that very powerful talk. It is really amazing to witness you and all of you really speak with so much power about your work. I know it's taken so much to be where you are right now and to be able to share. And I hope that I know that you'll be able to attract all the resources that you need to grow your capacity to provide all these beautiful things you are speaking. And the same with you, Abby. So thank you so much for sharing this. I'm going to take a little bit of a pause here so that we can take a break from listening and then continue with other leaders to share. So I want to share a quick poem that I've read in some other calls, but I always like to bring this poem up because it exemplifies how women are connected and our healing comes from the land, even in the most difficult of circumstances. This is a poem that's called Women Work by Maya Angelou, and it goes like this. I've got the children to tend, the clothes to mend, the floor to mop, the food to shop, the chickens to fry, the baby to dry. I got company to feed, the garden to weed. I've got shirts to press, the tots to dress, the cane to be cut. I got to clean up this hut, then see about the sick and the cotton to pick. Shine on me, sunshine. Rain on me, rain. Fall softly dewdrops and cool my brow again. Storm, blow me from here with your fiercest wind. Let me float across the sky till I can rest again. Fall gently, snowflakes. Cover me with wide, cold, icy kisses and let me rest tonight. Sun, rain, curving sky, mountain, oceans, leaf and stone, star shine, moon glow. You're all that I can call my own. So with that weaving moment, I want to invite Stacey, Sarina, Liddell to share a little bit more about her vision and her work in today's call.
Greetings, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to ask any elders for permission to speak. And you can just nod or come on. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Mom. Welcome and thank you for joining us today for the We as Solutions series, part 3. My name is Yet-Kyau Stacey Fluker, and I am a 2023 WIA leader and participant, and I'm grateful to be here today. A little bit about me. I am a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, a wife, and a mother. I'm a priestess and devotee of Ifa. I'm a licensed massage practitioner, a Shafia Monroe SMC full circle doula, birth companion, meaning I do birth, I do postpartum, and I even attend deaths. I love food and music from across the globe. And Sacred Moontime Sessions, which I am the founder of, is my US Accelerator initiative. These past 4 months have been an honor, spending time with each of my WIA sisters, sharing our dreams, hopes, accomplishments, and challenges while learning resources and tools that I look forward to infusing into the Sacred Moontime infrastructure. Years ago, I was inspired to create Sacred Moontime Sessions as an opportunity for young girls to ignite, foster, and cultivate a positive relationship with their sacred moontime. What is that, you ask? It's their menstrual cycle. I was blessed to have a unique and much treasured introduction to my Sacred Moontime. Thank you to my mom, who's here, Faika Munira. My mom sat me down and presented me with a beautiful box that she had prepared. And in this box, she meticulously and lovingly added various menstrual products for my flow, informative puberty books, pretty panties, a robe, a card, a journal, and a few other special items. And she was responsible for creating the incredible feeling that I was embarking on something special, which assisted with diminishing any fears or uncertainties that I may have had with this new rite of passage. Another impromptu experience she provided me with was a conversation with some of her church sister friends. We ate, we drank tea, we laughed, And I listened while they shared their first period stories, helpful hints and words of wisdom for me as I embarked on my menarche. They even shared their shock and awe for the new Always wings. Back then, it was new. It was most memorable. I've since learned through consults with my doula clients, close friends, and my community, and even through research that my experience was not the norm, unfortunately. Many of the experiences I've heard over the years weren't as welcoming. In fact, some were quite the opposite. If I may, I'd like to share a few statistics from a case study conducted after the pandemic in 2021 by SKDK in collaboration with Think's Period Panties and Period Companies. They surveyed 1,010 girls that were menstruating between the ages of 13 and 19. And as I share these statistics, I invite you to just think about your personal introduction, those of you that have wombs, to your sacred moon time. 76% of the students said there was a negative association that periods are gross and unsanitary. 65% agree that society teaches people to be ashamed of their periods. 70% say the school environment makes them self-conscious about their periods. 83% hide their period products as they walk ashamedly out of class to go to the bathroom. 62% agree that the world is not set up for them to manage their periods with full confidence. And this last one saddened me as a biology lover. 76% believe that they were taught more about the biology of frogs than they were about the female human body in school. Stats such as these have motivated me to create the aims of Sacred Moon Time. The aims are: 1, to shift the perspective; 2, to elevate awareness; 3, to highlight the powerful honor of the girl's menstrual cycle, while also educating them on the anatomy and physiology of their bodies, the emotional complexities that they may need to navigate through, and the myriad ways to catch their flow, and so much more. Historically, society sends out messages about this sacred time that can be confusing and damaging to our young girls. And oftentimes they have to deal with this alone, sometimes afraid or unsure of the beautiful journey into womanhood. Additionally, the sacred connection of our bodies with our great mother appears to have been severed, leaving many of us, and many of them sometimes, lost and feeling untethered to the innate magic with that connection within. Ignorance about the menstrual cycle is ongoing. So to bring balance and harmony, as well as to assist in reconnecting our bodies to our Earth Mother, Sacred Moon Time focuses on several topics: how to grow, cultivate herbs, and use those herbs for healing remedies during their menses; promote food, healthy foods to eat during our Sacred Moon Time; how our 4 menstrual phases correlates with the 4 phases of the moon, the 4 seasons of the earth; hygiene knowledge and supplies; and what exactly is reproductive health. I found that it's possible to learn about the divine and beautiful forces behind a woman's menstrual cycle through universal stories, personal accounts, hands-on models, charts, highlighting synchronized correlations between our cycle and nature. During these workshops, they can be reintroduced to the awe, the mystique, the intrigue, the respect, the celebration, and the worthiness of their divine feminine inside. I've had successful one-on-one sessions over the past 6 years, and due to the high demand, I've started an annual 12-week cohort. My mom was present in all of that, and I'm so grateful. I've just completed my first cohort this March to June 2023, and I'm preparing for my next cohort. These sessions were a hybrid of virtual classes and in-person classes, where we had our very own chef work with the girls on healing recipes, snacks, and things to eat that support their menses, as well as drinks planting different herbs like ginger, turmeric, hibiscus, and learning how to extract those medicines, breathing meditation, womb yoga, body adornments, and other activities like African dance. We even got a chance to tent outside in nature to listen to the earth's heartbeat. We had a blast. My highest intention for the Sacred Moontime session is to see young girls stand upright and walk in confidence, joy, and reverence during their sacred time, while incorporating lost or forgotten wisdom practices, speaking with self-assurances, the fascinating facts that they learned about their menstrual cycle, while dispelling myths based on patriarchy, ignorance, and fear. My ask today is to invite each of you to think about a young girl in your circle who could benefit from this 12-week journey into the Sacred Moontime. Click on my link, Healing Exchange, Sacred Moontime, and enroll them into the upcoming cohort. I also invite you, if you feel compelled, to donate to the mission of Sacred Moontime for supplies, for photography, for other activities like when we go camping, and food supplies. We could use the assistance to spread the word of our work. Those who experienced this workshop embarked on a personal journey, the mothers, the granddaughters, and the daughters, that connected them to their original mothers and their wisdom. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your time and your listening ear. And thank you to Danny and Kia.
Thank you. Like, wow. Like, as it's being echoed in the chat, like those stats were so staggering, and it really highlighted the need for this work and just really stewarding. A part of bringing healing back to our bodies and reminding of the power of our bodies, and honoring the blood and water that give us life. So thank you for that, Stacey. And with that, I'm going to round back to Myriesha, who's going to share a little bit about her work.
Hello, you all. My name is Myriesha, and I have a background in community psychology and mental health, in agriculture, which has all been about connecting communities with the importance of their relationship to the land. And I'm passionate about these healing and liberatory potential of the relationships to nature, and how those relationships are vital to intersectional climate change solutions because of my own personal experience witnessing the structural and environmental racism experienced by the BIPOC community nationwide. So this has led me to currently develop the project Black Mother Earth's Permaculture Sanctuary, which is a natural sanctuary that centers Black mothers, families, and birth workers, and is focused on holistic health education, traditional birth practices, and permaculture. And this project was created out of a need for a reconnection to traditional lifeways when considering our care of Black mothers and families, especially in the most vulnerable time of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. The Black maternal health crisis is something that needs to be addressed, and this is something why this issue is so pressing. Black women are 3 times more likely to die from a pregnancy-related cause than other women, and multiple factors contribute to these disparities, such as a variation in quality healthcare, underlying chronic conditions, and structural racism and implicit bias. Social determinants of health prevent many people from racial and ethnic minority groups to have fair opportunities for economic, physical, and emotional health. And it is important to recognize and support BIPOC women, especially in the most vulnerable time of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, because when these women lack adequate resources, especially in regards to food insecurity, we must consider the multiple aspects of support needed in order to sustain oneself and their families. So Black Earth Mother Sanctuary is a step towards creating safe, natural, food growing sanctuaries for Black women and families to learn traditional birth practices throughout the full spectrum of birth, and also provide holistic education on health and wellness practices for mothers so they can more wholly take care of themselves and their families. My project's guiding light is creating safe spaces for Black mothers and families to learn and explore traditional life ways, the exploration of traditional birth practices and practices that cultivate a relationship to the natural world, such as permaculture and regenerative agriculture, provides a solid foundation for holistic wellness for the whole family and the community. This work is unique because it will feature traditional practitioners in birth work, and also seed wisdom that can ground families in holistic childbirth, and also parenting wellness workshops. The large goal is to create a permaculture land sanctuary for families to utilize as a holistic birthing center, and also host postpartum and prenatal retreats, as well as retreat spaces for birth workers. This will serve to nurture Black mothers and families, as well as the people who support them in a communal space, tending to each other and the land, as well as learning how to live sustainably and with natural resources. This will reconnect Black men, women, and children to the natural way of life and birth so they can further believe in their possibilities to be self-sustainable and community supported. So any little bit of support goes a long way. Thank you for your time and support in this vision, as far as WIA, and all of you for being here today. I've developed a GoFundMe, and I also have social media as far as Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow for future updates on events. And I like to just post educational messages and things to just make people feel supported in this work. So that is what I have for you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Myriesha. I feel like in hearing you speak, hearing lots of solutions on how to give back to our bodies and the earth, but also a lot about equity and access. And it's just so beautiful how all of you are just really removing barriers that keep people from even learning, being, and not just having it in your hands. Because I feel like a lot of yesterday they were talking about it's just as important to educate, to inform, to create access as it is to place it in someone's hand, to place food, place health, place wellness. So thank you, Myriesha. Thank you, all of you so far. Next, I'll be passing it on to Tracy. So excited to hear from you.
Zedide, Shusi Chanel Milna, Non Gled Shusi Tracy Charles-Smith, Kel Todsman Ethan. Hello, everyone. My name's Tracy Charles-Smith. My Athabascan name is Chanel Nilna, which means she came back to me. I'm from the native village of Dot Lake. The Athabascan name for it is Kel Todsman, which means lily pad lake. As an Athabascan woman from a small village in interior Alaska, I embody the qualities passed on from my culture, family, and heritage within everything I do. The highest vision as a tribal leader I have for my work would be for Indigenous women and girls to feel safe and heal, and that they feel empowered to share their stories and to feel the power of survival. We all know that Alaska Natives have the highest rates of missing, murdered Indigenous, domestic violence, and sexual assault in the whole nation. My late grandmother raised me. She is the founder of our village, and that is one of the greatest treasures in my life, to have the cultural training from her. Her life story inspires me greatly. She was a woman who loved her family, her culture, and victoriously protected our subsistence ways of life against the state of Alaska. The decisions she made fighting environmental harm are what propel me as my tribe is currently fighting an extractive mining industry that will annihilate our environment, our water, and have the potential to harm our women. As a tribal leader, I face the same challenges and problems my people have experienced for generations and generations. Disparities in rationing of healthcare, poor health outcomes, suicide rates, missing and murdered Indigenous women, lateral violence, substance, and addiction. So during 2020, we rolled out our behavioral health program, Teju Behavioral Health, and we wanted to meet the needs of victims, but there is such a severe shortage of behavioral health programs within our region and within our state for Indigenous communities. So we not only serve our tribal members, we serve other tribes, and we serve anyone that needs help, behavioral health help. We have been all over the United States, and I'm currently here in Anchorage, and we're raising the alarms for environmental violence and harm to our women and potentially children. I have an amazing team that has helped us do impossible things, and I am so grateful to WIA because I've used the tools as I have been going through the program. And so I'm committed to accelerating the resources available for victims of violent crimes, closing the gaps in health disparities that Indigenous women and women of color face. I am using my voice to advocate for those who need it most. And I'm so thankful, and I've learned so much from all of you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tracy, so much for all the work you're doing to protect not just your communities, but the women, the children experiencing this violence on a regular basis, and really highlighting that intersection between standing up against these extractive industries and how that wholly intersects with physical violence, sexual violence, happening in Indigenous communities and community health. So thank you for that. Thank you for your sharing. Thank you for your work and your heart. I will be passing to our last, at least, Uli. You're all ready.
Aloha aloha kakayaka. I want to show you some of the beautiful face of the Indigenous people of this land, who is why we do the work what we do at Hakakodile. They are here with us, and this is why we fight so hard to grow good organic food and to provide what we can to undo the harm that has been done to the people of this land. Aloha kakayaka. O Uilani, Yet-Kyau, Moore-Wesley, Ko'inoa. I'm a Kanaka Maoli, originally from Oahu. I'm a forever learning guest living here on the stolen land of the northern Pomo people on Honumoku, on what they call Casper, California. I am one of the vision weavers of Hakakodile, an Indigenous women-led nonprofit 6-acre learning farm. Hakakodile is pronounced Ha-Kako-Dile. Has a colon at the end. It's a colonized way of a sound cue to do the Dile. That's the only reason why I'm honoring it, or I would kick it out because it's just part of my undoing. But the meaning of it is the water runs through the meadow, representing water runs through all of us. Water is life, and we have the possibility to create beautiful change amongst us. So I wanted to give you some of the beautiful faces that is why what we do, but also nourishes Hakakodile to nourish the land and the people and undo the toxicity that's happening on this land. So you can see the faces that we work with. Hakakodile, that is her name. That's her logo, created by Eric Wilder. We are learning and forever learning to do better. And I just wanted to amplify and say her name. So I'm glad you got to see some of the beautiful faces. We're here on Redwood Valley territory, actually doing some harvesting and doing some cultural gathering and support. So we're actually not on Hakakodile, but I'm glad our sisters here are here. And one of our interns from Big Picture Learning, Native American Initiative, or Big Picture Learning, is here with us too, helping out. So I'm glad you get to actually see faces here, but I'm thanks for them to actually come in and pop in. This is not going to stay up, but that's okay. That's how we're going to roll. So I thank you, sisters, for coming and for peeking in so they can see your faces, so we know why we do the work that we do. Our farm works to bridge the gap between marginalized communities and the fresh and healthy indigenous produce that they deserve. We are part of an effort to decolonize our food systems as well as decolonize our bodies. I want to share and give a big mahalo nui loa to the WIA program for this nourishing journey of truth, hope, and connection. Me, you, and we are the ancestral seeds of Mother Earth. For the nourishing journey, we are the ancestral seeds of Mother Earth and contain the knowledge of those that came before us. The legacy of colonization has divided us, attempted to erase our beautiful indigenous cultures. Haha, didn't work. We're still here. But at Hakakodile, our journey is to be healthy and respectful land stewards for Mama Earth. It is not just about our personal actions, but about us inspiring others to empower, to make positive change. I know many of us hear that 911 call of Mama Earth. And with helpful organizations like WIA, we're amplifying her call. The time is now for us to start weaving together for the sake of our future generations. Many of us won't see the results of all the hard work and efforts that we put forth today to combat climate change and the social disruptions that it is causing. And if we want the natural world to be better than what we have now, we have to come together, figure out how to heal her. Mother Earth is alive and she's screaming for help. And with this 6-acre farm, we are doing what we can to undo the harm that is done to her and the people. I'm going to be truthful and organic on my emotions because the call is great. We are stronger together, and many of our sisters on the panels before us have spoke very truly. We just have to figure out how to get there, how to unlearn the colonial behavior that separated us as beings. And we have to weave together a better connection of how we can be together to heal her and ourselves. Why? Because we deserve it. And it's much needed to happen now. Remember, Mama Earth is alive. She is alive and she's asking for all of us to come together and help. It is a 911 call, and the change starts with you. It starts with WIA. It starts with us. And all of you that are hearing, we need to do something right now. We can't wait. She needs us to amplify her voices and amplify every one of these leaders that have spoken on this beautiful flat platform. Amplify their names and their journeys that they're doing. Help them show up. Do what you can. We need all of you to work with us to heal. So I want to leave you with this. I want to read you a verse of a song that I created during my journey with WIA. I am writing a song. How the melody's going, I haven't figured out all the way yet, but I just want to read part of it for you. You are a seed of the future, a promise that you must fulfill. You carry the dreams of generations with unbreakable will. In your growth, you inspire with every branch, with every leaf, with every breath. I am a seed of my ancestors with resilience and grace. Filled with ancestral knowledge, I will grow, nourishing the world. I will sow with the earth, the fire, the air, and I will welcome the water's embrace and dance with the elements of earth's grace. Please get all the leader weavers that have been a part of this cohort and all the farmers and the folks out in your area that are doing the work to undo the harm that is done to this earth and that will plant better seeds for our tomorrows and for our future. Show up for them, amplify their voices. And wherever you are, please know what land you are on. You cannot do healing for the lands if you don't identify and amplify the voices of the indigenous people of the land that you live on. Me as a Kanaka Maoli, that is my responsibility. So I implore you all to step in those shoes of taking responsibility, to act now, to figure out ways to meet people in the halfway point, to unlearn together and detox ourselves from the colonial separation that was forced upon us. We are stronger together. Do not forget that. So I welcome you to weave. I welcome you to look up our webpage, hakakodile.org. Find us on Facebook. Find us, I think we have an Instagram. There is 5 of us that first work with, that work right now with Hakakodile, our beautiful tribal indigenous, she's just an incredible weaver for all. Monique Sonoki, our structural weaver branch, Wesley, our soil weavers, Liu Leong and Matilda Hernandez, and our tribal elders and our board. We are doing deep weaving, and it would be easier and if you all join us. Of course, we welcome the monetary support. We have a PayPal, we have a Venmo, we have a mailbox. We are doing what we can, but we need your help. All of us need your help to continue doing the work that we do. So I welcome you to contact us, to show up, to come visit the land, come lay on the land with us, come dig in the soil, and come cry with us and come sing with us. So Hakakodile is a pocket, 6-acre pocket, to hopefully be a better example of how we can work together. Mahalo nui for your time. I call you all, and I amplify Mama Earth's voice, call you all to action right now, to amplify. She is calling, but are you listening? Mahalo nui for your time. And thank you so much for WIA, for all that you do. You have nourished me so much, and I hope I continue to nourish as you have nourished me. Mahalo nui, be well, make good decisions, and don't wait. Start now.
How can I follow that? You know, like my heart, I am like about to start crying with you. I don't know if I want to cry or I want to sing or burst into poetry and, you know, send you so much love, Ui. Your voice has been instrumental in this program. And you know, as part of the shapeshifter, culture shifter of this program, we are so grateful for the way that you have just expressed yourself and the way that you've shared the seeds that your ancestors had planted in you. And I hope that you know in your heart that everything that you have shared and that you will continue to grow through your initiative and your vision for this world is going to come to reality, burst from those seeds of your heart. Thank you so much for sharing so authentically, Ui. And, you know, something that you shared kind of got me thinking. You said something about meeting people halfway. You invited us to meet you halfway, right? And in a lot of ways, this call is an invitation for that, right? For people who are here to meet all of us halfway. And it's interesting, this concept of halfway, because there's so much work that we as grassroots leaders have to do to even get to the halfway, right? It's the reason why programs like WIA exist, because those resources, that training, that accompaniment is the work that you all are doing to even get to the halfway, right? And all that we're asking is for people in our communities to do the same amount of work to meet us halfway. We are learning new languages. We're learning new ways to speak about our work. We are learning new ways to invite people into our spaces, to you know, invent new ways to communicate and to revisit our ancestral traumas, to be able to speak and about our works with so much clarity. There's so much work that goes into just getting to the halfway. So I'm asking everybody in today's call to do the work yourself to get to that halfway and meet these leaders where they're at. So sorry, I have a little bit of allergies and my nose is runny. And with that, I want to invite everybody to go ahead and meet these leaders in the halfway. And if you're wondering how you're going to stay connected, I just want to share that this call is being recorded, and we will share all information to follow up, including links to websites and places where you can contact the leaders in today's call, so that you can follow up and meet these leaders halfway. Before we head out, I just want to mention that, you know, this series is part of our Regenerative Agriculture and Health Accelerator. And like all our programs, we're focused on creating alliance building strategies that bring leaders together across territories to share their strategies and learn from each other. Putting together public events and programs like this takes an immense amount of effort and resources. And I want to express gratitude to our WIA team, Kia Leek, our program manager, and Teresa, our tech expert, for hosting this event with us, and for doing everything it took to get these events together. The leaders in our program who have shown up so brilliantly, I want to thank you and recognize that really, this is also all made possible by support from our donors, funders, and givers. Thank you for your support. And if you enjoyed today's gathering and you learned something from it, or if you simply are called to this work, as I know many of you have been already, we would be so honored to have you join our alliance efforts today by participating in our year-end campaign that is called We Are Made for This. The link is in our chat. You can also follow up with this QR code. You can do a one-time donation or join our seed bank of monthly donors. It's through your drumbeat of support that we're able to continue standing alongside WIA leaders like those you have heard from today, and ensure that they have all that they need to protect our communities, themselves, the earth, for generations to come. Thank you so much for being here. And to our speakers today, we appreciate your collaboration. And we hope to see you all in next year's solution series. And as we continue to build more programming with our leaders and collaboration in the next year. Please reach out if you have any questions. And if you want to follow up with anything that sparked for you today. We welcome your community. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We hope to see you all very soon.